We're going to start by sitting on the mat and just sitting in whatever position is comfortable, legs out or in, or any combination of whatever feels comfortable. And so we've talked about this before, that sometimes we might think that yoga is a certain set of movements and it only looks like this, or it's only this, and really it's just yoga is moving mindfully with our breath. And so we're just going to just put your video, turn your video off if that helps you to not feel self-conscious at all. And we're just going to move with our breath in any way that feels good to you. A lot of times during the day and even at night, our bodies can wind up and get tight. And so yoga, there's a kind of yoga that is unwinding, a kind of movement, and we just let go and let our body just unwind however it wants to. So just take a moment to breathe and just let your body unwind, whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like. And you can even close your eyes and just listen. And there might be a spot where you hit it and you think, oh, yep, there it is. And you stay there until you're ready to move on. So the invitation to just unwind for a minute. And breathe, finding our breath. Just let the creaks and anything that's there just open up. Unwind, breathing into it. And just enjoy how it feels to move your body in whatever way it's asking for this morning. And then as you're unwinding, begin to put your hands on your knees. And bring your awareness to your breath. And as we inhale, we're going to lift our heart and lean forward and open, chin lifted, opening of the heart. And then exhale, pulling against our knees, rounding, opening our back of our heart, pulling our shoulder blades apart. Exhale. And inhale, scooping forward, opening. And exhale. Opening the back side, pulling the shoulder blades apart just a little more, dropping the shoulders away from our ears. Open, inhale. And exhale, rounding. Moving with our breath. Inhale one more time. And exhaling out. And then we're going to sweep our arms up with the next inhale. And exhale, just wiping down the walls of a hallway that we're walking down, kind of a narrow hallway, leading with our elbows, opening our heart. And then sweep it up. Inhale. Just moving with our breath, sweeping it open, dropping the shoulder blades down our back. One more time, open, inhale. And just opening up, shoulder stretch. And then clasp your hands behind your back, pressing your fingertips toward the ground. We're just going to roll our heart open, lifting our chin just a little above parallel with the ground. And then, if it's available, to lift our arms up away from our back. Just a little lifting, a little opening, dropping the shoulders down, and then release that. Grab the hands in front, exhale, around the back. Drop the chin to the chest, stretching the spine. Nice. We'll go through that series one more time. Inhale up. And exhale, wipe the walls, sweeping down until our hands clasp behind us. Inhale, open our heart. Lift the hands up off the tailbone, opening the heart, dropping shoulders, and then exhale around. Tuck the chin, grab the hands, press away, rounding the spine. Nice job. And then sweep up, inhale. And exhale, we're going to come over to one side. Reaching up, opening that elbow. And then inhale up, we'll try the other side. Exhale. And opening this elbow up. Nice. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale to one side. And then just leave it here. Take this right hand, this hand that's up, whichever hand it is, and gently grab, hold your neck, and just turn your chin and your gaze upward. So we want both sits bones on the ground. So we're kind of opening up the side body, using this arm for support. This elbow up to the sky. Big inhale to open, and then exhale, elbow toward our knee. Maybe not touch, and that's okay. Inhale to open it up, supporting, holding our neck. Our gaze looks up as we open our heart, and exhale, elbow to knee. And we'll do that one more time, moving with our breath, supporting our head. And exhale, elbow to knee. And sweep this arm up, inhale, both hands up. And exhale to the other side. So both sit bones on the ground, opening up, and then just gently hold your neck as our gaze turns out, supporting our neck. Inhale to open, exhale, elbow toward our knee. Inhale, open, peeling the heart and the chest open. Exhale, fold, rounding over. One more time, opening up. And exhale, elbow to knee. Sweep both hands up. All the way, inhale. Exhale to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment with an option to keep your hands here, pressing against each other at heart center, and an option to put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just finding our breath. So, as you're finding your breath and settling in, feeling the ground supporting you, and sitting in any way that's feeling comfortable. If your knee is funky, or your feet or ankles, so however is comfortable, and just finding your breath. Talking this week, this is the last day of our 7-day No Complaining Challenge, with an invitation to carry on to a 30-day No Complaining Challenge. And just to review, as we're breathing and I'm talking and your eyes are closed and you're tuned into your body, as I'm talking, pay attention to what you start to feel, maybe emotions, or watch what your breath does, or tightness in certain areas of the body, and what I'm saying, and maybe it's something to pay attention to for your learning, and just ask what that is for you to learn from that today. So, complaining seems like it's a cultural norm and to complain. It's just like something we do. And when we do, in our thoughts and in our words, it puts us in a place of victimhood, hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness. And when we're in that spot of victim, we are inadvertently making someone or something else responsible for our happiness. And that is so powerless and helpless. If it's someone or something else's responsibility to make me happy, how can I? So then we are trying to control and trying to manipulate and control and collude and coerce and compete, trying to get this outside thing to be okay so that I may be okay. Complaining. So stepping out of complaining puts me into a place of powerful choice, of choosing, of hope, of faith, of trust, and of the ability to choose my thoughts, my words, and my outcome, my choices. So the first step toward changing our pattern of complaining, of victim, of placing the responsibility for our happiness, our fill in the blank on someone or something else outside of us, is to start noticing when and how and where we do it. And the second step is to ask, is there a choice here for me to make? For example, at this time that we're living in, lots of complaining about masks, and I admit I've had asthma in the past, and breathing and being able to breathe is a big deal for me, and so wearing a mask feels constricting and sometimes fearful for me. So I'm noticing, am I going to complain? Am I going to spread negativity to myself, to other people about this? Or do I have a choice? Yes, we are always at choice. Keep breathing, and if you want to keep moving, keep moving. Do our unwinding. What choices do I have? One, I can choose to support the people around me, support the suggestions, support the recommendations, support the guidelines, and choose to being a good citizen, or I can choose not to. That's a choice I have. I have a choice of what kind of mask I can wear. So I found a different kind of mask with a seam down the middle that has more room, that feels more comfortable to me. So we are at choice. That's just an example of how I have experienced this non-complaining challenge. So those are choices I have. The third thing is to act on those choices. So one, notice. Two, ask what are my choices? And how can I take accountability for myself, for my words, for my actions, for either spreading and building negative energy and just building on the negative and the darkness, or choosing into hope, faith, trust, adding to the light, adding to the love, the joy, and the goodness in the world. And we are at choice in every minute. So the no complaint challenge seems like a little thing, and yet it's a huge thing. So with that, we are going to have a kind of a stress relieving, gentle moving flow today, non-weight bearing. So with all of that, sorry for talking so long. Come on to all fours. So we're just going to release stress, release negativity, release our complaining, release anything that we're holding on to that isn't serving us anymore. Big inhale to cow and exhale to cat, and exhaling it out with every exhale. Gently choosing another way as we inhale and exhaling out what we're ready to let go of, and moving with our breath. Listening to your body, just move, cat, cow. And maybe your hips are going side to side. Maybe you're wiggling around. Maybe you're not. Moving with your breath to release what's in there that you're ready to let go. 2 more times. Cow. Looking up, exhale, chin tucked. Inhale. And exhale. This time on our inhale, we're going to come to neutral spine and extend our right leg. And exhale down, and inhale, extend the left. Just awaken our core muscles, waking them up. And also moving our glutes and our hips, which hold a lot of stuff. So waking them up and moving them so they're ready to let go. One more time on each side. Inhale to lengthen. gentle way or a strong way. You choose. Inhale and exhale. Inhale as we come back to a half child. We're going to exhale, chest down, tail up. A little baby vinyasa. And then sweep up, knees bend, ankles cross. Our first little baby up dog. And then exhale, up onto our fingertips, toes tucked, to almost a full child's pose, just opening up. Stay on your fingertips, opening the heart, exhaling. Let's do that again. Inhale as we come up, and then exhale into a little baby. Oh, tail up. Forgot that. Crossing our other ankle, lengthening our spine, lifting up. Exhaling onto our fingertips and our toes. Back to a baby child's pose. A baby child pose. How's that? A little one. Okay, one more time. Since I tail up, chest down, elbows in. Sweep it up. Hips toward our wrists. Lengthening and opening. Up on our fingertips. Exhale. On our toes, leaning back, maybe a little bit more space this time. Exhaling. Big inhale and sigh it out. Still up on our fingertips, just to really open our chest. And our shoulders is another place where we really hold on to lots of stuff. So, lengthening, letting it go. And then inhale, this time we're going to let our hips drop down into more of a push-up. It's still a half. Ankles cross to protect our lower back. Little half up dog. And then this time keep your palms on the ground as we come to child's pose. And by now your knees might be a little wider than they were before. Point your toes or leave them tucked, your choice. And a little deeper child's pose. You may even drop your forehead to the ground. Lengthening, walking fingers forward as we take our tailbone to the back of the mat. Nice. Inhale as we come up. Exhale, another little half vinyasa. Sweep it up. Cross your ankles. Inhale. And then exhale, elbows in. We're going to drop all the way down to the mat. And let our feet release. Beautiful. We're going to just take our hands, awakening our core, hands out in front of us, and just float them above the ground an inch or two. And our neck is neutral, maybe looking a few inches in front of our face as we lift both feet up off the ground. A superwoman pose. Really tightening our muscles from our glutes all the way down. Strong shoulders, breathing, and then cross your hands under your cheek and release. Deep breath and exhale with your mouth closed. And on our next inhale, same thing. Hands out, toes up. And if this is too much for your lower back, you can drop your feet and just lift the front of your body. Lifting up. So your choice. And then cross your hands, exhale, cheek and look the other direction and release. Nice. This time, we're going to keep our hands here and just lift one leg. Keeping our toes and knee pointed down, and then can we pull our elbows up off the ground and our hands up off the ground. Again, our gaze is just a few inches in front of our face. Shoulders relax. Inhale and exhale. Drop it down. And then turn your cheek the other way. And then inhale the other side. Just awakening our back muscles, our hips, our core, and our shoulders. And exhale. Turn your head the other way. Nice release. Nice. So we're going to clasp our hands and bring our elbows in right under our shoulders. And it's really tempting to sink in our shoulders. We'll stay strong. And then shoulders right over our elbows, tucking our toes. We're going to come up and walk into dolphin. Nice. So we're finding that space and length in our spine. Lengthening out the back of our legs. Big inhale. And then exhale. Let your heels migrate toward the ground. Opening up the hamstrings. And then tip your tailbone so that it's up and our back isn't rounded. So tipping. Nice. Engaging our core, pulling our belly button in and up and under our ribs. Shoulders strong. Big inhale here and exhale, knees to the mat. Nice. We're going to, you can keep the toes under or point. We're going to open up one arm up to the side, inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to thread the needle through. And so many options here. This is a shoulder opener. So really opening our shoulder blades, pulling them apart from each other. Opening our shoulders. So if you want a little more balance work, we could start by walking this other hand up over our head. Breathing and opening. We could even straighten out the same side as our lengthened arm that's up overhead. If you really like to play with some balance, play is a key word. You could even lift that leg. You could even take it out and grab it with our hand. So lots of options to play with. Just be playful in this yoga practice. What feels good? What might be fun to try? You could even take this hand into a bind, opening up to the side. So many options. Just play, be playful with it. What's good today? And then just gently unwind, supporting ourselves with that hand. Coming back to right here, and we'll tuck our toes and step back into pigeon. And you might be able to walk your feet in just a little more, finding a little more lengthening and spacing, stretching, breathing into that space in our lower back and our hamstrings, our shoulders. These are places where we really tend to hang on to things, and so this is a great opportunity to let it go. And then inhale to lengthen, exhale to drop the knees down, inhale to open the other side, and exhale to thread your arm through. Again, lots of options here. We can play with some, working on our, building some balance and strength. Or you could work on some opening, the bind. You can work with some flexibility and balance. Just invitation to be playful on this side too. What feels good? And if you falling out of it is just part of the practice. Sometimes that happens, working this as a balance pose. Just being playful in our pose. Option to try lots of things. And then we will make our way back for one more dolphin pose, tucking the toes. Before we do though, let's just take a little practice right here and make sure that you can grab your elbows with your hands. This is as wide as we'd like our elbows to be. Just right there is the perfect width. And then clasp your hands, pressing elbows and hands into the ground. The shoulders strong, and then pushing up. With an option here if you're feeling really playful. It's not a super restful pose, but if you would like to play with the possibility, pushing elbows and hands into the ground, of walking into a headstand. And that's not available in my practice today. It might be for you. So that's one way to get into a headstand. You can play with that. Big inhale to lengthen, to breathe into all those spaces. Exhale to knees. Inhale to come up to hands. And exhale to lengthen our spine. We're going to inhale and open up to a first side plank. Okay. So lots of options here in this pose too. The goal is to open up, lengthen, find space. And if you'd like to build some strength, there's lots of options. Beginning here. We're planting this foot, going here, here, woo, wild thing. So, an invitation to be playful, yogi's choice. What would you like to choose? Whew. For this practice. Whew. Okay, when you're ready, come back to all fours. Nice job. Let's do a little cat-cow here. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale one more time. And exhale round. And then we'll just come over to the other side. So this leg is parallel to the bottom of the mat. And we just start opening up. Moving with our breath, we can go for length, keeping that shoulder rolling open, heart rolling open. You can go for some strength. You can go for playful. Whatever you'd like. And this side may feel completely different than the other side. And so we'll just be great with that and do whatever this side, whatever's available here. And when you're done, make your way to all fours. Come up on your fingertips. Inhale and exhale. You can keep your tail up or you can take it with you. Inhale to a little baby cobra. Exhale to child's pose. And just let it go. Arms relax on the mat. Letting that tailbone sink down to our heels as our spine is lengthening. Top of our head going opposite as our to the tip of our tailbone. Finding more space in our shoulders. Opening up through our side body as our hips release with each exhale. And always an option to be up on your toes. And then with your next inhale, come on up. And we're going to walk through to seated. As part of our gentle practice today, we're just going to do a little bit of balance right here and strength. So grabbing under our thighs, lifting up our heart. And then pulling in your belly button so it comes in and then up under our ribs. Holding that in nice and tight. Engaging our mula bandha, our very, very lowest muscles if we were going to stop our stream of urine, those muscles. And then an option to release our hands and keep our legs. We can play with this pose, but keeping lifted, keeping strong, finding strength, finding length. One more breath cycle. And release. Cross your ankles and fold over. Nice. And then on your inhale, come on up. And we're going to cross one ankle. Just remember which one you start with. I'm starting with my right leg over my left knee. And we're just going to begin to lift our chest toward this knee as we are pressing the knee gently away from our body. If you want a little shoulder stretch in this, you can point your fingertips toward your hips. It might be too much. You can take your fingertips away. Just options to play with. So lifting, coming toward our legs, and our leg, knee pushing away. And then we'll gently lower ourselves down, keeping your legs right here. We're just going to straighten that leg to the sky as we thread our arms through and grab this straight leg. And using our elbow to gently push that knee away from us, even as we pull this toward us. So it may seem like nothing until we sit with it and find our breath and breathe into our body. And let our glutes, our hips stretch and begin to release whatever is there. And just breathing with it, inhaling and exhaling, breathing into the stretch. Letting your bodies stretch and release. You just might feel things just slowly giving. And then on your next inhale, just let this leg that's crossing over cross all the way until our knees meet. If this is possible, if you have some stuff with your knees today, just go ahead and keep it right here. If this is possible, this is a laying down cow face pose. Is it possible to grab your ankles or even your toes with our knees meeting? And we're just pulling gently on our ankles or feet, just giving our hips and glutes another stretch. And as we come into our bodies, as we breathe, as we become aware, there's some extra space there, there's some stretch, there's some letting go, especially of what is no longer serving. Just breathing with it and seeing what is there. And gently let that go. And this leg that's crossed over, we're just going to let this foot drop all the way to the ground. And this might be enough twist for you. If there's more available, you can start dropping that knee. And then take both arms out, straight out into a T out to the side. So we're twisted one way. This arm that's way out here in the other direction, take that to your shoulder, elbow in, and begin to draw the elbows just straight up to the sky as it brushes our cheek. We're going to take our cheek with it and open out to the side. And look out over that shoulder and then release the hand until it drops. Elbow dropping, leading the way until our hand is about shoulder height. That just opens up and releases our shoulder, our upper back as we're twisting our lower spine here. Breathing into it and just staying in our bodies, staying with it, letting the ground hold us up and staying in our bodies. And then so gently bringing our knees back to center, uncrossing. Grab one hand and hold one hand on your neck, one hand on your leg. Whoops, and roll it up. And then cross the other ankle over. Again, sitting up tall, lifting our heart as we gently press this knee away from us. And the fingertips toward our hips can give us a shoulder stretch. And some days that's too much. So wherever's good for you. And then we'll gently drop it down to our backs and straighten up that leg. And thread our hand through and pull this in, even as we use our elbow to push that knee away. Foot to the sky, and then we are going to stay in our body. And bringing awareness to our hips, to our glutes, maybe even our hamstrings, mostly our hips. And sending loving breath to those tight spaces. And as our breath arrives to those tight spaces, just feel and see that space opening up and expanding. Staying with it. Letting go of thoughts, judgments, or plans, and just staying with it. Gently release your hands as we cross this leg. Just continue to cross it over till our knees meet, and then reach for our feet. We're just pulling our feet or ankles toward our core, and feeling that hip and glute stretch. Again, dropping into our body, staying with the stretch, breathing into that space, see it expanding. And then as we gently release our hands, this leg that's crossed over, that foot goes toward the ground as we take our hands out to a T. And if there's more available, you can start drawing that knee toward the ground, just listening to what's there. Then this hand that's away from our knee, bring it to our shoulder with our elbow in to our body, and then lift that elbow up. Inhale. And as it lifts up overhead and grabs our cheek, we open up our cheek with our arm, and then release our hand to about shoulder height, maybe a little more. Dropping all the way down into our toes. Just letting the twist do its work. Twists are so healthy for us, so good for our bodies. And then just gently begin to bring your knees back to center. Without straightening our legs, we'll just keep our knees bent, feet on the ground. And we'll do one more where we just put the bottoms of our feet together in a butterfly or a cobbler's pose. Just letting those knees open. Palms by our side, palms up. And just imagining all the love and the joy and the light that's out there, that's available from source, from universe, from the divine, and receiving it in through our palms. Only the light and the joy and the gratitude and the goodness and the positivity and all the blessings, all those things coming in through our palms into our whole body is just filled with, just vibrating with that vibration of love and joy and light. And feeling that in every cell of our body. And choosing it. And feeling it, however it feels. And so for Shavasana for today, you're welcome to keep your legs here if this is okay. You're also welcome to straighten them out and find a comfortable position. Palms are still up, just continuing to receive all the goodness that's available. And light drives away dark, so the more light we bring in, the more and more it grows and grows and grows. And our capacity to receive it grows and grows. And our capacity to stay in those higher vibrations of light and love and joy and gratitude increase exponentially as we choose it. So begin to notice how that feels. Begin to notice your eyelids feel heavy. Still, every cell in your body just tingling and vibrating in this love and light. Eyelids are feeling heavy in our face, completely heavy and relaxed. Still, every cell just vibrating at a higher and higher vibration frequency as it just fills with love and joy. And feeling that relaxed sense of traveling down our neck into our heart as it expands and fills. And down our arms, into our hands, just noticing. Our heart and belly filling with that light, with that love and gratitude and joy and goodness and blessings that travels, filling our pelvis and starting down our legs, our back, our knees down to the tippy toes. Just feeling every cell dancing with joy. Inviting you to stay in Shavasana as long as as you're able to stay. And when it's time to move out, either now or later, gently take it to your side. Supporting your hand with your head with your hands. And then as you're able to. I just wanted to thank you for being here today. Thank you for taking the invitation for our 7-day no complaint challenge, with an invitation to, if you had an experience, I'd love you to share it on the feed. If there's something, an aha that you've had or anything, please share it with us or with someone else. Spread the joy. And then an invitation to join us starting next week at an 8-week series of mindful self-compassion. It's going to be awesome at this time when we're going into fall, coming out of a summer, going into school or routines different than they may have been, and joyfully doing that in a mindful, self-compassionate way. Thank you again. Namaste.